Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC match reaction show following Tottenham Hotspur 1, Ipswich Town 2. Town get off the board with their first win. Get in. I have never been so tense watching the last 10 or 15 minutes, but we got it. 3 points on the board. What are you thinking this evening? Let us know your comments in our live chat. I've just dropped a link for you to come on and have your say. I can see 3 beautiful faces already looking at me, eager to celebrate 3 glorious points. Michael says, yippee, best early day gift for me. I think he means birthday. Happy birthday, Michael. Yes, says Richard Chandler. Steve says, wow, come on, Town. Who saw this result coming? Brilliant performance by the whole squad. Absolutely was. And don't forget, we are part with SolarWise. Be wise this winter. Be SolarWise. For a free roof check, give Shane a call. 01206 628 544. That's SolarWise Roofing and Building. Right, Ben. Now, before we bring Ben in, this is somebody who I've been given pelters to most of the week because he's been telling me we're going to beat Tottenham. It's in the bag. Don't worry. We're going to beat Tottenham. He's read his tea leaves and we're going to beat Tottenham. And I've been saying, you're talking silly, Ben. It's not going to happen. But Ben, you were right. We beat Tottenham. 3 points. What are your thoughts?
That was a really well-managed, well-balanced game. And we were calm. Axel gives balance. Amari Hutchinson on the right gives balance. Every part of that team today was balanced and the game plan was solid. And if you notice, Kieran McKenna, if you noticed in the last 3 games, he has changed it up now. So what we're not doing today was playing ticker football in the in the 18-yard box. If it came and there was any kind of question whether we're booting it out, with throwing, corner, up the pitch, that hasn't been our game. Murich has it. He's not doing a little roll out 6 yards out. He's kicking it up the pitch. Throws. Apart from that very last one, I thought was poor because Hurst wasn't concentrating on it. But I think the game plan was good. And I think that all goes to Kieran today. And I think the subs came on and they didn't make us look any weaker, which is a really great sign. I just think we were... I wouldn't even say it was our best performance, but it was our best managed performance of the season.
What gave you the confidence heading in? Because like I say, you've been telling me all week we're going to beat Tottenham. Even during the game, I was like, oh, no, I've got a feeling here, Brentford 2.0. And then they got the goalie, and it was rolled up for VAR. What gave you the confidence?
Because I think because it's just so Ipswich to win a game like today against a team like Tottenham. You know, this is a team that smashed Man City, that killing all the other, but then they've got a really bad result in them. And it just an Ipswich thing possible that we were the last team in British football to win a game, that you go away to Tottenham and you just beat them. And Tottenham are a team that are either brilliant or they're not that great. And they were still very good today, but they're missing a really key player for them. There's a lot of pressure on Son, although he's one of the best players in the world. And I've just seen this upwards trajectory the last 3 games where we're adapting to the Premier League. And we're getting better and better and better. Will it be enough in the end? Maybe, maybe not. If it's not, then that's the way it is. But we have been getting better. And for me, my takeaway today is Kieran McKenna has now caught up with the Premier League. Now we know what the fuck we're up against, and we've tweaked it. and I like the fact that 7 days after Mark Ashton gets Howard Webb in for a VAR discussion, we get 2 VAR decisions go our way. Funny,
both correct though. Both correct decisions in my opinion.
Yeah, but the other ones were wrong. You know, and the correct decision for us should have been
That's true.
Ellis is happy.
Absolutely, Ben. Man of the match before I let you go and let you get back to your family someday. Who's your man of the match?
Man of the match. Hello. Who's your man of the match? My man of the match today was. It's a mixture between Axel Twinzaby or is it Greaves in the middle? Not Greaves, O'Shea. O'Shea, nothing came through him. He was fucking flawless today. So it's between those 2. Brilliant.
Excellent. Ben, appreciate your time as always. Look after yourself. All the best. Our first win since 2002 in the Premier League. Boris says first Premier League win in 1,000 years. Boris, it isn't quite that long, but we'll take it. It's worth 10 Bulgarian lev. Go town. Boris, thank you very much for the 10 Bulgarian lev. We appreciate it. Axel was at fault for their goal, says Gramble. Yes, he was. He lost his man. But how good to see him back in the starting lineup, Curtis. Axel Twenzabi back. Ben mentioned him there. How did you see his performance first came back?
Considering it was unexpected that he'd be even in the starting lineup until I checked my phone this morning and saw that he'd posted a match graphic, and I started thinking, oh my God, this man has risen from the dead like Jesus Christ again. Like, we're expecting him against Manchester United, and he's back today. I thought he had a fantastic game. There was a bit of rustiness, but again, I think that's what's going to happen when you've just gone through what he has gone through with his thumb. He lost his man, but overall his game 99 times out of 100 was fantastic. So I
agree with you. And set pieces are always one of those ones. You know, he's got a man responsibility. He loses him, but you can always learn from that. And his first, you say, a bit of rust there. Yeah. But how do you see the overall 90 then, Kurt? Because obviously our first win since 2002. We've got 3 points on the board. How are you feeling this afternoon?
Oh, fantastic, mate! Fantastic. I mean, have we just seen an overhead kick and a win in the Premier League in so long? I mean, the game overall, I don't think you can really single out players in terms of man of the match. I thought every single one did the job to almost perfection. I thought every player there. I thought Burgess was a man mountain at the back again. I think he really does muscle that defence really well. But I just each to a man. I thought had a really good game. I thought Kayush had a really good game in the middle there.
Yeah, I agree. I really like. He starts to fade towards the end of the games, does Kayush? But I really like what he brings in terms of the ability on the ball, the calmness, the technical ability.
I think the best thing you can say about him sometimes is that you almost don't really have anything to say about him because he almost floats through the games doing the bits that he needs to do without any real praise. I thought he did really well against the top side.
Agreed.
And it was. I mean, the attacking section. I thought Delat was unbelievable. I thought he muscled their defence very well. I thought Schmodic did very well out wide there, and even Hutchinson really, really good. His pressing and his pace on his pressing was unreal. But I just thought all round for every single player there, it is. I mean, to be a fly on the wall in that dressing room tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Ed Sheeran's there, so he'll probably be serenading them, with a little bit of Ed Sheeran top tunes. But you mentioned Amari. I thought actually that last 10 minutes, and it might seem really strange to say, Kurt, was probably his best 10 minutes in a Town shirt because he shows such a level of maturity in terms of on the ball, cool, calm, take it to the corner, win a free kick, get your team further up the pitch. We've seen some fantastic moments from Amari Hutchinson, but in that 10-minute period in the Premier League, that was a player that's grown so much and showed years above his actual age.
Yeah, I think what you've noticed there is his maturity and tactical awareness has improved dramatically, even throughout these last 11 games. His tactical awareness in knowing what to do, how fast he needs to press his man, how when he needs to go down in the right areas to bring it to the corner, like you say. I thought for a player at his age, and to be fair, for a player who he probably thinks himself that he's not had the best of starts to the season, I thought that he looked bang up for it from minute one to the end. I mean, it's one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them are blowing a gasket in that change room now because I don't think there wasn't one person who ran the socks off there. But no, I think you're right. I think that to me was Amari Hutchinson. Bearing in mind we had him all last season and how well we remember him playing and how well we saw him improve throughout last season. Bearing in mind he's against a top side there, I think you'd have to say that's probably one of his best games in the Town shirt. I think you'd have to.
You just can't understate how important those last 10 minutes in terms of like the free kick right at the end where he's in the corner and he has a touch, goes down, buys the free kick. That's unbelievable awareness of the situation. Or when he's bursting through and there was an instance where he got the ball in the centre circle. And you could see him. He wanted to knock it past the defender and go for goal. Knock it past him. Do you lose it? And then they're straight back at you. And then he turned and he went straight towards the corner. That to me, that buys you 3 points. That gets your team 3 points. That gets you up and running. And it's something as fans you don't quite think of at the time, but they're massive, massive moments.
Well, that's the thing. In like as you mentioned, then it shows that level of maturity for a player who is let's face it, who's still relatively early in his career, and not many professional games under his belt at his age. So, like, I mean, to be at that level now, where I'd like to think that he can only improve from now. I've still got the highlights on in the background, so they keep catching my eye. But yeah, I thought that was one of his best games. Again, that doesn't take away anything from Delap, because Delap's pressing even for their second goal to get his foot onto that and rifle that into the top of the net. That's another goal for him. I mean, Smodic. I mean, his awareness around him, knowing full well back to goal, not much room, tight. Just get anything you can on it.
Beautiful.
Decides to overhead kick it in. Fantastic start. Unbelievable start. And I think it's one of them. It's hard to say, obviously, over recent results. But when you see a goal like that, you think, right, today is our day. I thought Muric had, again, in fairness to him, I thought Muric had another fantastic game. I thought when he needed to pull out the saves, he did. He pulled out a really nice save from Solanke in the first half, right down to his left, I think it was.
Yeah.
And again, I thought he commanded his area well. He concentrated to the last minute. Again, I think it was it Solanke again at the end?
Solanke right at the death, yeah.
Made himself big. And again, it's things like that which gives you more confidence that the game is actually going to go your way. And I mean, winning against Spurs, for a player like him who maybe has had a bit of a up-down start to the season and putting in that type of performance, it can only be good for us. So fair play to him as well. But I think again, I want to go back to Cam Burgess, because Cam Burgess, for me, since he's come into the team, I don't think he's really put a foot wrong. I think he's showing a certain level of class in that defence that he doesn't look out of place in the Premier League. And this is a player who, when he came to us, he dropped out the side for a while, and then he was kind of, we weren't sure whether he was actually ever really going to play this season, because we had a good variety of choices at the back, and yet he's almost coming to his own a bit. So I think he deserves a special mention, because he's just a man mountain at the back. All of them were. Tuanzebe was good. Davies was good on that left back. They were just, I don't have any bad things to say about him, like you would expect me to.
Excellent. Kurt, we'll leave it there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Town have got 3 points. All the best. Osvaldo Blue, what performance? Probably defensive to play in a McKenna masterclass with the formation change. Don't forget, like and subscribe. We're here, most days really, but subscribe for more Talking Town and like this video. I'll bring in Lee Anderson. Lee, Muric has had a lot of criticism in his early part of his Town career, but today for me, he was my man of the match. He collected everything, he claimed everything, and some big saves right at the death of the game there. He keeps himself so big to deny Solanke. How did you see his performance?
Oh, at the end when he caught that last catch and then he threw it out to Hurst, he wasn't looking. My lad turned around and said, "I love him. I don't care if people give him pelters. I just love him because he just took, when you wanted him to come and grab the ball, he grabbed it." And we all
heard it, didn't we? Keepers, that huge shout. Love that.
Yeah, and you want to be positive. If there was one hesitant one in the second half, I think, but the saves that he made. Kurtz has mentioned his saves, fantastic saves. That one he could get down to the left, and let's not forget the one off Davis's leg as well. That could have easily snuck in the one where it was whipped across and Davis stuck his leg out and Muric was about to get wrong foot and he's gone down to his left. Routine-ish, but I've seen them squeeze in. So he's brilliant today. Still gets me a little bit with playing out from the back. One off the outside of the foot into Morsey. Interesting. But hey, we got through them. And as the commentary said, depends which one you were watching. The commentary, talked about risk and reward again, and what we got a goal from it. We got a goal from playing out from the back after they nearly scored. We went down at the other end. So a good result. It's been coming, to be fair, isn't it? Because I think we've only had 2 bad games this season: Everton and West Ham. For me, the rest we've been really competitive most of the time. Absolutely. Yeah. And going back to your point with Ben earlier on, I was speaking to a wily old fox last week, and he said to me that he thought that we would win when we were, we'd win the first game when we were at least expected to. And he was talking about Tottenham. And that was
he was right.
And that's
he was right. He was right.
Yeah. But at 2-0, I get more anxious at 2-0 than I do if we lose 1-0, because there's more to hang on to. But you just sit there thinking, can't happen again. It can't happen again. Surely we're going to see one of them out. And today was that day. And funnily enough, the last time we played at Tottenham, a certain Finidi George, he was only 18 at the time, I think, scored an overhead kick.
Yeah.
Scores an overhead
yeah, exactly.
kick.
Yeah, and that was a 2-1 win, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back then, and obviously it's our first win since 2002. Metal J says Murett's catching balls from crosses like Paul Cooper today. Lots of appreciation for Murett's in the chat, which is great to see after the start he's had. And I just thought to a man, we were absolutely phenomenal. Even if the second half felt like it lasted, for the whole 7 days of the week, it's such a long second half because we didn't start the second half well at all, did we, Liam? And obviously they get their VAR decision, they scored, it then gets going to VAR, it comes in our favour, which I think it was right. I think it did come off the Yankees.
Absolutely.
But we just didn't start well, and then for me, I was thinking the whole time, just try and delay how long you concede. You felt like a goal was coming. But you felt like if you conceded late enough, you might have enough time in the bank or less time in the bank to see it out, because it was just wave after wave after wave. But that first half was a phenomenal first half from my point of view. I thought we were on top from minute 1 to minute 45. I thought we were fantastic. We hit the bar from a set piece. We were really good value for that 2-0 lead at halftime, I thought.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, we soaked up the pressure quite a bit, didn't we? And we didn't have a lot of the ball, but that's the game plan. McKenna set his game plan out. We had operated almost like 2 strikers out of possession, almost like a 4-4-2 to compensate for their 2 wingers that pushed on. So that was good. So we didn't expect to see a lot of the ball, but when we did break with purpose. And before we scored, we looked like first minute, second minute, Smodits nearly puts it through the goalie's legs. That was a
great
good
play
chance. There. Yeah, no, it was a good save. He came out to you. So yeah, it's when we tire now, I think, and as you're right, we weathered the first early storm of the second half. Then they got their goal just as it was it was starting to drop, wasn't it? The intensity in the crowd, and then that just gave them that lift. And we saw out the next. It's don't concede in the next 10 minutes. Don't concede in the next 10 minutes. We didn't. We got back into the game a little bit more, and then the game got a little bit bitty. But when they looked more like scoring was after we'd been down the other end.
Yes.
So that's, for me, that's a good sign that we're not succumbing to pressure. We're really compact around the box, and we're picking up loose balls, and most people are switched on, and we're getting the ball out. But second half for Romari, the point you said about taking the ball in the corner, really, it's the fouls that he got. It was the fouls to get us up the pitch. That was key, because it just gives you a little bit of respite. And the technical injuries as well. I counted at least 2 technical injuries today.
Yeah,
particularly
absolutely.
The first one in the first half. So I don't know if we're going to be a bit naughty for that, but that's starting to look really. Notice that we're going down at key times.
We're learning, aren't we, as well? That's the thing to pick up from that. We're learning they call it the dark arts in football, don't they? Well, we're learning those little things, and again, as Ben said at the start of the show, we're piecing it together week by week. And this was, you almost don't want to break now. You want to jump straight into a game next week, but sadly we have got a break. It is international weekend. Just you want to keep that momentum going, if you like. But Lee, before I let you go, anything else in the last 30 seconds before I bring in Richard Chandler?
Just to mention for Delap, what a player he is and going to be. I keep saying it every time I come on here. He's going to be a special talent. He's going to be a special talent.
Absolutely. Lee, appreciate your time on a Sunday afternoon. Look after yourself. All
Cheers,
the
mate.
best. Someone said earlier in our chat that Delap has probably tripled his value, and I completely and utterly agree with him. PC Olsen, I think it's a Tottenham fan. Just purely from the messages that the PC Olsen's written in the chat, it says, "I've never seen time wasting on this level. You totally." His words, cheated the ref, who only added 9 minutes. It should have been 25. Well, we did play Oxford for a couple of times over the last couple of years. So we did learn how to perhaps eke the time clock out, Mr. Chandler. It's amazing what you learn in your travels from the League One to the Premier League, isn't it?
Well, he's a little bit salty, that Spurs fan, isn't he? Jeez. Because they don't do that.
Beaten by Ipswich at home, you know.
But because they don't do that at any point, obviously, ever. I didn't watch them beat Man City. Let's put that into context. We've just beaten a team who beat Man City 2 weeks ago.
This is it.
Who've put 4 past teams 4 times at home this season, I think I read.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ever looked. We did look like conceding. I'm with you there. I thought we looked like conceding 1. But I was pretty chilled, to be honest. Before the game, I thought a draw would have been a fantastic result, but that is a great result, in my opinion.
It's a phenomenal result. Let's talk about Sammy Spodix, who's we've mentioned briefly, but not really talked about. Rich, this is a fox in the box. This guy hits the 6-yard box, 18-yard box, and goals just seem to pour out of him.
Well, same for Delap a bit, but Spodix is a bit older, obviously. But how are either of them not being picked up by Premier League teams before? How has Delap been at Man City and not been given a chance? But Spodix is 28 and never played in the Premier League before.
Yeah, but he's scoring goals. You know, like every time the ball falls in that 6-yard box, he's in the right place, right time. And today is a fantastic finish. That is a Premier League finish, if ever I saw one. You know, overhead kick, back across the goalkeeper. Beautiful.
It is until we find some kind of salty way that Shearer and Lineker can turn around and say it's a lucky goal or something like that. Even they can't
take that away from us this week, Rich. Even they can't do that. You know, he's 30 next summer, says Hamish. It's just, I didn't quite, I knew he was good, Spodix, but it just surprises me how he can find that half a yard. Like today for that goal. He finds that half a yard. It's all he needs. Beautiful.
Well, today we've gone away from home at a team that we're going to go third if they beat us. So they're no mugs, and we've gone away from home and we're 2-0 up at half time. Yes, they've had chances, but every break that we had through him and Amari, because really you can put whatever formations you like on the screen. Really, they're playing like 2 really narrow number 10s most of the time behind Delap. They're not really playing out wide. At home, it's slightly different because of the way we play. But away from home, Spodix and Amari were just winning every ball. And the playing out from the back is how you win games. It's how you score goals in the Premier League, especially if you're us. I said, obviously, well publicised before the season started, we'd come 14th, 15th. But I still think that. Well,
yeah, results like today, getting off the board with a win, a well-deserved away 3 points at a place like Tottenham is going to go a lot way to people who had those similar thoughts in the summer. But tactically wise, you mentioned the formation there. Obviously, McKenna, you know, sprung a little bit of a surprise on us. And I thought the way he deployed Ben Johnson today was just something really special. You know, he had a man marking the Tottenham left side. And I thought the way he used him today was just something I've not seen from a town manager in a long time. That where it's, you know, you're using your own man to stop their outlet and then you're playing away.
I thought it was fantastic because Son is world class and he drifts out to the left and then cuts in. But every time he went out there, it was only really when Werner came on that they had any kind of outlet that way, really, because up till that point, Johnson and Axel had him in his pocket. He couldn't get the ball. He was doubled up on constantly. And that's work on the training ground, and that's McKenna.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there's been so much stuff. I mean, in the Discord this week, yesterday, more after the Wolves result, it was called embarrassing, and I quote, embarrassing that we haven't won a game yet in the league.
Oh, we have now.
But we've only lost 5. Some of those teams below us have lost 8 or 7. That's a big difference in a Premier League season.
Yeah, big difference. You're right.
we're playing really good football in most games. There's probably been 2 poor performances all season. Yeah. And one of those we could have been 2-1 up at West Ham because Greaves misses a sitter of a header and then we capitulate.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I said this the same on my Tottenham review with the last word on Spurs, where we've got good points against Villa, Brighton, really good performances.
Fulham's a good result.
Then you've got performances like West Ham and Everton where you weren't at your best, but then the Brentford game sort of summed up how we've approached the first 10 games because it was roller coaster. You're 2-0 up away from home, then it's 2-2, then you're 3-2 down, then you're back in the game at 3-3, and then you lose it. Just that roller coaster each and every week. But this week was our turn to put a really professional performance in. And before bring Steve and Parry in, anything else on your mind following today's win? Because it's a big win, it's a statement win. If anything, it's a good marker after 10 games to get 3 points away at Tottenham.
I think it's perfect timing because you've got the international break, and I know we've got players that go away. I think my last point on it really would be that the fans need to make sure they get behind everyone. Like Stephen Parry said last week after I'd been on, he said that everyone should get behind players. Look at Muric. A few weeks ago, he was the worst keeper in the world according to some of our fans, but he's caught every single ball today, and he's then soaked up the pressure and took the time out of the game in the way that every other keeper does to us.
Yeah,
and that's not League One Championship. In the Premier League, they've been doing that. Pickford was wasting time after 10 minutes against us at Everton's game. So the Tottenham fan can be as salty as he likes, but that's exactly what they do away from home. That's what happens.
That's what every single football team does. That's why you get your cast for time wasting. Absolutely. Greg says, now our season starts. Richard, appreciate you coming on a Sunday afternoon. I really do. Have an enjoyable rest of the Sunday. All the best to you and your family. We've got Trevor, fantastic result. This could kickstart our season. More of those sort of comments. Love the lap. Defenders must hate playing against him. Shane says, yes, we got that win. Brilliant. ITFC Beard has gifted, because ITFC Beard, if you don't know this, is our Discord moderator. And if he didn't know it, he now does. He's now gifted 20 Talking Town memberships. ITFC Beard, thank you for your generosity. If you're lucky enough to have a membership awarded to you via the YouTube random wheel, I don't know how it's given out, so you might be lucky, you might not. Welcome aboard. Your Discord links in the community tab. TTG Flatwhite says Upper Town. Absolutely appreciate your Beard. I really, really do. And well done on the moderation promotion. You don't get nothing for it. You're just going to sit there and babysit it for me. Stephen, we're going to win. I'll bring you in. Lots of chat in our live chat about Burgess and Greaves, because we mentioned, Curtis mentioned Burgess earlier. Greaves has been out injured. What do you do now? Is it Greaves coming back in? Has Burgess made it too difficult to drop him? What do you see playing out? Because Burgess again today was solid.
Well, it's always difficult to say whether a player comes back in or not. For me, I think Greaves is still the better defender. Yeah. Mainly because he's got more pace. But, they both made errors. They both made, not game-costing errors as so much, but every player makes mistakes. They're human beings. So you can, if you want to critique both players, you can find things that both players have done that's wrong. I just think Greaves has got a higher ceiling, and I think he will be the better player. Yeah. Does he come straight back in? I don't think so. Because Burgess is playing well. But, it goes back to, it's your shirt to lose. Will that disappoint Greaves? Yeah, but he knows the game. He knows the score. They're all football players. I think Clark, when he came, thought he was going to be a first-choice starter. Smodic is playing well, so he has to bide his time and show to people and show to the manager that he deserves to start. And if Sammy carries on playing like he is, then I'm sorry, he won't be. That's football. That's Premier League football. It's not like Championship where, Sheffield United lose Gus Ehrman and then he's straight back in. These players are all much of a muchness. Some are a little bit further behind. Maybe that's because of age, with experience. A little bit like Amari. We all expected Amari to come in and rip the season up, but he didn't start last season very well because he was adjusting to a new team and a different league. And everybody thought, well, he's even last season, everybody thought he was a bit weak, he's a bit soft. He was trying too many fancy flicks. And it could be just simple factors the same as this year. He's gone up a league, he's gone up a level. he's learning that. He's, like you said, that bit at the end where he actually looked like he was going to have a shot and then changed his mind. You know what I mean? He was in front of goal. There was a defender close to him, but not close enough. And he thought to himself, well, look, it's 9 minutes. I could have a shot and lose the ball, or I can take it away and win the free kick that he ultimately did. And that's what he chose to do. That's, like you said, that shows intelligence. And maybe he's developing that. Maybe he's growing that. He's a young boy, you know.
Yeah.
If you think what I was doing when I was 21, it wasn't that. Yeah. So the top and bottom of it is, I know what I was like at 21. He won't be much different, but he has a different plan. But so everybody today deserves credit. I do think Johnson and Axel on the right was really vital, because you saw it in the first half when one went forward, the other one came back to cover. So we effectively had 2 right backs on the field, but they were both outlets. So they were like switching over every single time. And I think that was so impactful in the first half, you know. But if you went through the whole team, you'd be lucky to find anything that was anyone who had not a poor game, but an average game. They all had a good game or more or better. You know, I think Kiyus was brilliant. It was a brilliant crossing from Kiyus. You know, it's one of those that you've got to do something with it. You know, and if you don't do something with it, Smodic is there anyway. So two players go for it. It gets a little nick off him, and he's there for the. And I think Brennan Johnson was weak there. He like stood there and watched Sammy Smodic do an overhead kick. You go in and make a challenge, don't you? You do something. You don't stand there watching it, you know. So there's lots of things on the Spurs side you can critique. I think they were soft, especially defensively. You know, attacking wise, they're good. And I said in the Discord, I said, look, we can't keep having these corners coming in the box, because they were doing some damn good corners, especially from the left-hand side. There were some really sweet balls going in the box. And we struggled with them. And yeah, they scored the goal. They scored the goal that were ruled out. And it was clearly ruled out, because if you look at it, normally I don't think it would have been ruled out, even if it was handball. I think it's the fact that when it hit his foot, it was going over. It was his hand that deflected it into the net. That's what it was ruled out for. If it was going to go in off his foot, it just caught his arm. I don't think they'd have ruled that out. It's the fact that it's come off his foot and it was going like upwards.
Okay.
It would have gone over the bar if it hadn't hit his arm. So it certainly deflected into the net off his arm, which is definitely a handball. But the second one came from across in the box. You know, we were struggling with the good balls into the box, and you know, sometimes, you know, like I said to Josh on Discord, sometimes you can't do anything about it. You know, corners come and things like that come, and you just have to do your best. But I think we stuck to our guns. We were solid. And there's one thing I have noticed during this season is that when we've played, we've been good defensively or we've been good offensively. Like Brighton, we were good defensively. Yeah, you could say Man City, you know, realistically. In Liverpool, we were good defensively for the main. Yeah, and then you look at Brighton, so you look at Brentford and Everton. We were poor defensively, but we didn't really have much offensively against Everton. But Brighton, Brentford, we had goals in us. You know what I mean? Yep. Even though we had goals in us, but we were poor defensively. We never really had a game where we were like good defensively and good offensively. And today was that game that I saw. We were good at the back, and we had a cutting edge as well. And I think that was the difference. And I think that's what wins your games in the Championship. I know it seems obvious, yeah, but you have to have that. If you're a little bit off it, which we have been in recent weeks, you're going to concede. Now, you can do that if you're going to score goals. You know, some games we have scored goals. We just haven't got over the line. But you need to have a balance of both. And I think what was said, we had a balance today. And I think that worked well. And I think, it worked a treat for us today. Like I said, at the end of the day, will it be enough? We don't know. All those people being doom and gloom, we don't know. We knew today was a big game. And after the game we've won, today was a big result. It was a statement win. Wolves got the first win. Southampton got a win. Now they've been wiped out. Leicester got beat as well. You know, so, you know, we've gained points on them. Also Palace. So we're clawing a few people back into the mix. You know, so against Tottenham away, you know, that's one of those games where you go, well, people would have said, oh, you beat those teams like Southampton and Leicester and things like that. No, you don't go to Spurs and win. We've done that now. That weight's off our back. We said, look, we can go and compete against anyone. Yeah. And to be fair, I think having the international break's beneficial to us, because I think there was a few bumps and bruises after that game. I think some players will need a couple of weeks just to recover, because there were some grazed knees and bumps and bruises, and you know, I don't want to go facing United with an half-fit squad. You know, so let's give them the 2 weeks, let them all have a rest, let them all have a break, let some bumps and bruises heal, and then we go to United. You know, we face United and we see what we can do with that against them. Because let's not forget, these are the comeback kings. Yeah, they played Villa. Villa went 1-0 up, and they annihilated them. You know, they beat United. These can beat teams, and they couldn't beat us. So I take big pride in that. And I think, yeah, you could say it was a one-off. They didn't play very well, but I'll take them. I'll take every single team who doesn't play very well and we win, because that's points for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to end the show in 40 minutes. Got a few more minutes left. Don't forget we are partnered with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. If you're feeling lucky this afternoon, download the app wherever you normally download your apps. Bingo cards on there, £2 a go. And each time you play, you do support the crucial work, life-saving work of detangling air ambulance. Hang on, Steve. Over 18s only. Be gamble aware. Steve, I want to ask you a question which has been posed in our chat. Which came from Rob Holmes. Question: does Karius hold down that position over Phillips? He was very good today. What do you think?
For me, no, because I think Phillips has got that cutting edge ball, that one ball where he just looks up, sees a player, bang. Yeah, but I will look at it this way: we have 3 central midfielders where I have no fears. Yeah, if someone's suspended or someone's injured, that we've got 3 quality midfielders who can play. Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of losing Morsey or losing Phillips and putting Karius in, because he's played so well. But one thing I would like to mention is I'm just so pleased for all those diehard fans who have been going home and away. Yeah. And whether it's for the referee mistakes or whether it's for, you know, silly errors or whatever, to go to Spurs and go to the whatever stadium it is. I keep thinking it was White Hart Lane. Go to Spurs and come away with a win, and to cheer them off. And even I was watching it on the telly, the faces on the players and the manager, they were so delighted with that. And I'm thinking, that's for every single fan who went, you know, who stuck with them. Like I said last week, we've got to stick with them no matter what. Who stuck with them, sang their hearts out, and they come away with a draw. That's for you lot.
Absolutely. Steve, that's a great way to end it. I appreciate you coming on the show this evening. You look after yourself. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Going to get Sean's comments. 2 solid wins today for both the men and women's team. Town are marching forwards. Soulboy Clark, I'd start Karius over Phillips every time. He just needs minutes. Doesn't play for Napoli if you're no good. Lee Anderson, Karius is our best ball player. Jorgen, Karius, Delap, and Muric. Thanks for the comment, Jorgen. Hamish says, cheers, men. Great job. Up the Town. Absolutely, it was. Dino says 2 red cards, 12 yellow cards in the last 3 games. Can we get in trouble for that? Right now, last thing on my mind, because Town have got 3 points. First win on the board, and we are back live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. for more reaction, more fan thoughts, more in-depth look at today's first win for Ipswich Town on the road at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But thank you for watching our match reaction show. Like and subscribe. Check out our partners in our description. But until tomorrow, go ahead, go and get involved in our Discord chat. There'll be lots of conversation this evening all over there. Thank you to ITFC Bid for the 20 membership giveaways. If you've been lucky enough, get yourself over to Discord, get active, and get a part of the Talking Town community. But until tomorrow night, 8 p.m., thank you for watching. Have a great Sunday. I'm off to watch the Bears hopefully complete what has been, so far, a great Sunday. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Oh, please lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I felt went crazy from just the thought of you.